It was a very eventful weekend for accused child killers. Hello, my fam. Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and some of you might remember this face and name, Caylee Anthony. Many out there believe that she was responsible for the murder of her young daughter, Caylee. Caylee Anthony died in July of 2008, just 2 months before turning 3. And what I might tell you all about her, my opinion on what she's done, might surprise you. So I'm going to save that. Instead, let me tell you in her own words what she's doing and why. As many of you know, Caylee Anthony was found not guilty and has been living her life freely for many years now. What you may not know is what she's been doing with her time. And that leads us to this weekend. On Saturday, Caylee Anthony joined TikTok. She calls herself a legal advocate and a researcher. She says, I've been in the legal field since 2011, and in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. Okay. She then tells us who she is, and for those who don't know her backstory, this is how she wants to be known. My name is Caylee Anthony. My daughter is Caylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. Moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize so they actually know where they can turn to. So with that, please join me on Substack if you have questions. That's right, not only is she on social media, she's in multiple places now. She's got a TikTok and a Substack, but Caylee has turned off the comments on her TikTok account. And to engage, she's directing people to her Substack. She says, I will set up an email address where we can correspond directly. Up until this point, that has never happened. And it's only going to be on a limited basis regarding legal issues. Why would you turn to her for legal guidance? But she is adamant. This is about helping others. The accused schmurderer says, there are people close to me who have been targeted and attacked recently. There are also people close to me who have had some recent things occur, and when necessary, people needed to step up, myself included. So, as a proponent for the LGBT community, keep us out of this. Keep us out of your mouth. So, as a proponent for the LGBT community, for our legal community, women's rights, I feel that it's important that I use this platform that was thrust upon me and now look at it as a blessing, as opposed to the curse that it has been since 2008. With that, these aren't going to be perfect. They're not going to be edited most of the time. They're not going to be short. But I am probably standing in the light, embracing this peace, still going to keep my privacy intact. Homewrecker. Remember that? I told you all that last year that she was in a relationship with a married man. I mean, that's very on brand for Casey Anthony. She continues, so you will get very comfortable with my car and I will I'm keeping that in. So you will get comfortable, very comfortable with my car, and I will explain in great detail why it's so important for people to protect their privacy. It's not just important to public figures. It's even more important to private individuals. And with the current climate in our country, especially, it's that much more important. Which is why I am utilizing the Substack platform. Yes, I am advertising this and publishing this on TikTok, possibly also through other meta platforms, but my intention is to separate from that and showcase even more why Substack is such an important resource for people to utilize. Moving forward. Anyway, I appreciate your time and we'll see how this goes. Okay, that was an abrupt end. And for all you chismosas out there, if you want to follow her Talkie Tick account, it is Casey Anthony _Substack. That's CASEYANTHONY _Substack. And if you want to follow her on Substack, her name there is different. Not very smart to have a different name. Her Substack name is The Real Casey Anthony. So you can go to substack.com/The Real Casey Anthony, or however you look up people on Substack. I've never used Substack, have you? But I have used TikTok, and I have seen that the TikTok community has not welcomed her with open arms. In fact, her presence on the platform has enraged a lot of the users. There are calls to action to have her removed from TikTok. And I don't think she should be. I understand that many of you, myself included, think she was responsible for her daughter's death, but legally, she is not responsible. She has not been found guilty of murder or even manslaughter, but she was found guilty of other things. You remember? Let me look it up for you. She was not guilty in first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and aggravated manslaughter of a child. Not guilty on any of those charges, but she was found guilty of 4 misdemeanor counts of providing false information to a law enforcement officer. And then a Florida appellate court overturned 2 of the misdemeanor convictions charges against her in 2013. Plus, she did serve time. She served her time. She did pay her price for what she was found guilty for. I don't like her. I'm not an advocate for her, but I also don't believe in kicking people off platforms if they haven't done anything that breaks the community guidelines of those platforms. I also do believe in free speech and will always be an advocate for that. And I also do believe in giving people the opportunity to be better and do better. But that's just me. What do you think of her presence now on TikTok and Substack and possibly elsewhere? Do you think the platforms should allow her? She's not getting a similar response to Gypsy Rose Blanchard, that's for sure. Will you follow her? Will you try to get her banned? What are your thoughts? Let's discuss it all. A lot to think on, and let's talk in the comments section.